Well, you know, the truth of the matter is that this isn't anything that happened like, oh, this is just a deterioration of society. No, this is a planned event. In fact, the Rockefellers...
It's been planned before the country even existed.
Absolutely. The Rockefellers, especially, when you're getting into them, in fact, Thomas Jane, the actor, I read an article he had...
The Hung guy?
The guy from Hung.
Yeah, that was
Did you read that article?
You read it on air.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I read it on air. That's right. And what was amazing about it is the guy's awake. And the truth is that the Rockefellers control the education system. Hence, they're dumbing down the population. He even went, John D. Rockefeller, went to, I'm trying to remember which president it was. It was one of the presidents, like...
Was it Eisenhower?
No. It was, John D. Rockefeller. Oh. It was earlier. It was...
Truman? It
was, no, it was in the 30s. It was before, it was either Hoover or I don't think it was FDR.
Abraham Lincoln?
But no, I have I read it. I have the quote, and the quote is that I don't need. And once you can Google this, and it'll tell you the proper president. I'm sorry, memory bank failure. I'm gonna have to like reboot my hard drive.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, got to reboot the hard drive there. But you can Google it, and it's Rockefeller tells the president of the United States he doesn't need thinkers, he needs workers. So he instituted this whole Department of Education was instituted to dumb down the population. Read a great book called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America by Charlotte Iserby. You can also watch great stuff from her on YouTube. Charlotte Iserby, it's weird spelling. It's Iserbyt, I think. And she was the head of the Department of Education under Reagan. She brought this out to Reagan that this style is being controlled to dumb down the people, and it's Soviet style, and it's just teaching them how to be workers and slaves, and not giving the individual the opportunity to come up with free thought. And she was fired. On record. Okay. Enough about my digressions. But these are good digressions. And again, you're watching We Are Change and listening to We Are Change, hopefully on informradio.com, although right now it's going to be probably a rebroadcast you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe Truth War is not available to keep the transmission live. But live stream we are here, and we'll be here until 5 p.m. with my guest, Chris Tighe, and of course my co-host, Vinny Bdatruth. All right, what else is going on there, Vinny?
Well, that all started with Ted Gunderson we were talking about.
Yeah.
Another guy who's not that famous, but I did want to mention is Patrice O'Neal. I don't know if you know about him. He was a big, heavy-set black guy. He was a comedian, really funny. He was totally awakened. Like when you talk about the guy from Hung, Patrice O'Neal was always on like Comedy Central, stand-up comedian on like a lot of radio shows. He was actually on Alex a couple times. And he was totally awakened.
Wow.
Patrice O'Neal, and he ended up dying from diabetes this year. Wow. And he was young, probably like my age, and so I just wanted to mention him. He died maybe like 2-3 months ago, so I wanted to mention him. And then of course William Cooper is 10 years now, so
it's 10 years.
10 years on November 5th. It was William Cooper, since he was murdered. So, have to mention William Cooper's 10-year anniversary this year.
That's right.
Is there anyone you could think of? I mean, Ted Gunderson.
Well, I have a lot of stuff here. I mean, also, but as far as people that died and whatnot,
like you said, we don't want to talk about Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. The idea of the gearing this is towards the events. And there's a lot of them, and again, they're all stacked in here. And Chris will read through some of them in a little bit. I guess he'll move forward.
Oh, and I guess another one who died. Well, we had the Kim Jong-il.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
He got his younger son.
We got a 27-year-old running with that insane country.
Did you see how awkwardly similar he looks to his uncle too? It's like, holy crap, dude. They must like literally. Breed those guys.
Come on, let's face it. They're in their own bloodline. They're of course their own bloodline. Let's be real.
It is true. Yeah.
It is a bloodline. It's very, very, very sick and very scary. But you mentioned this guy that died. What was his name again?
Patrice O'Neal.
Patrice O'Neal. On the break today at the in about 25 minutes or so, because we'll go a little long. We'll do a straight 2 hours like we normally do, but we started a little late because of this interference with the Skype. Anyhow, I got this great thing from George Carlin.
Nice. For
the break, that's really insightful, and for the video, you'll be able to hear it. It's just an audio clip here, but I will on the YouTube page post the full video connected with the entire thing on a playlist, the old show, like I do every week. Anyhow, moving on. I got some Tyranny, but let's let our guest read some of the major events that might come to mind that would consider Tyranny. There's a lot of things that are not necessarily.
Where do you want me to start? In the beginning of the year? I mean, I can.
Yeah, you can go. Why don't you just peruse those things and look at the ones you can see which ones are actually Tyranny compared to just like Molly had a baby. There is a lot of that. Obviously, when you do research, you get a lot of information of various events. Some of them, of course, weren't Tyranny. There were some good events, but they'll tell you everything.
Well, on January 19th, Chinese President Hu Jintao. Jintao, is that you pronounce it? Hu Jintao. His White House visit to acknowledge a lot still needs to be done to improve human rights in his nation accused of repressing its people.
Oh yes, much needs to be done. They have to take away the nets that they have outside of the Apple factories, ladies and gentlemen, so that when these workers that have been enslaved and worked to the bone to death, they try to jump out and literally commit suicide, they won't let them. They'll just catch them in these nets and then throw them back to work. You don't believe that? Google that. Chinese workers, nets to stop them from suicide. I mean, this is an insane world we live in.
It is true. January 25th, 2011, during his State of the Union address, President Barack Obama outlines proposals for the Winning the Future.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now, winning the future. Wars in Libya and taking over the CIA, putting puppet governments in Libya and Egypt.
On the same day, in Egypt, thousands of anti-government protesters clashed with police during the Tunisia-inspired demonstration to demand the end of President Hosni Mubarak.
Yeah, that was a big thing for the past year, is the whole Arab Spring. And
the Arab Spring was a big thing. And all
the revolting and protesting going on. To me, it's beautiful. I love it. I keep waiting to see that here. But I love seeing all the people in Greece and the people in Egypt and today
they're
Syria.
fighting the tyranny in their own way they know
how. We're
how.
talking now in Syria, they're fighting. I mean.
Also, a couple days later, U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano,
big sis,
announces color-coded terror alerts will be phased out by late April.
Yeah.
So we don't have any more red alerts. Look out.
Yeah. So now all we have is just bombarding you with ads on television and the newspapers and everywhere. If you see something, say something.
Newest thing is, we're going to be talking
everywhere.
Peace talks with the Taliban now.
Peace talks with the Taliban. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's loving. It's incredible. That's just January, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. Anything happen in February?
Yeah, I'm looking. Protesters take to the streets in Iran, Bahrain, and Yemen on February 14th. Protesters swarm Wisconsin's capital after Governor Scott Walker proposes cutbacks in benefits and bargaining rights for public employees.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There was a lot of cutbacks.
Take those rights away.
Yeah.
February 15th, Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi faces trial on charges he paid for a 17-year-old Moroccan girl for sex and then used his influence to cover it up.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
He has having orgies with underage girls.
Yeah. It's good to be king.
No, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do that, no.
On February 22nd, we all know the outcome of this, but the defiant Gaddafi vows to fight to his last drop of blood and roars at supporters to strike back against protesters.
Well, that came true.
I guess.
Well, that came true.
Matter of fact, they drove his dead body through the streets, I think, didn't they?
And NATO assisted with love bombs that killed 30,000 civilians, and while they paid the Al Qaeda to be the opposition. Mm-hmm. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of sad, but actress in World War II pinup died on February 28th, Jane Russell.
Oh, I remember Jane Russell.
I don't really remember her, but
yeah, she was in a lot of westerns and stuff.
On March 7th, Obama approves the resumption of military trials at a U.S. prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
It's all setting up the fortune that we're going to be taken away from us now. They're going to take more money away from us, more property away from us, and throw us into the jail. I
just seen them shipping someone over to Afghanistan to be tortured from Gitmo.
See, I don't think. See, my personal view on the whole idea of the FEMA camp is I don't think they're going to throw anyone in there. I just think that what they're going to do, they're expecting people to be completely out of options to do anything, and they're going to have no other choice but to go in there. And then they'll have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think initially what they're going to do is they're going to round up anybody that's going to say, no, don't do this, stop doing this. They're trying, this is how the Nazis work. This is how the Nazis operate, people. They tell you to go here, do this, we'll give you a nice shower, we'll give you a nice warm bed to sleep in. It turns out to be a wooden cot.
I think the FEMA camps are for the sheep, like you're saying, more. I think people like us aren't going to be allowed to be around sheep in no camp.
No, absolutely.
We're going to be going to like underground torture facilities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or they'll just kill us.
If you go by 1984,
I'm pretty sure they're just
reprogramming. They'll try to kill us or reprogramming.
Yeah, we're not going to be in the camp.
Like it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I can only. You can think it's crazy. It's New Year's Eve. We're laughing about it. It's really not funny, but you gotta laugh because what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen when all of a sudden the thousands of people that are doing this, like I'm doing this, and we're doing this, and just stop doing this, and oh wow, all of a sudden those people aren't doing that anymore. I wonder what happened to them.
Let's face it. There's two kinds of people in the United States.
Sheeple and people.
Right, and when they passed the recent Defense Authorization Act bill, what was it? It was
detaining.
Right, the new Detainment Act of the bill. Mm-hmm. The same day, they announced they were going to allow for the consumption of horse meat. And there's two kinds of people. There's the people who actually care about our freedom, and the people that were more interested in
the horse meat
issue. And those are the sheeple, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm pretty sickened by that myself, but I'm more concerned about.
I don't know. I've eaten a horse before. It's not that bad.
Oh God. No thanks.
March 11th, we can't forget that a magnitude 9.0 earthquake and resulting tsunami struck Japan's northeastern coast.
Fukushima.
Which led to a meltdown, which we now know.
Led to literally nuclear explosions, like Hiroshima, over and over again, 5 or 6 times. It was blowing stack, man. Those rods were blown out.
To me, that was the biggest story.
Absolutely, by
when
far.
You see those videos, I don't know if you watched the videos. You've seen some of the videos.
Seen them, yeah.
I mean,
it's incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and they say it's safe. They raise the levels are raised to say that it's safe, and and the water's safe. The water's
40 years earlier,
slashing into there all day long.
40 years earlier in Hiroshima, there was major worse problems with nuclear attacks.
Yeah, but it was a one-time event.
They repopulated that area.
That did leave residual.
They still have problems from.
But they still have. Now it's out of control. I mean, that's just like the most toxic place on earth. You couldn't pay me any amount of money to ever go to Japan. Ever. In fact, I can't believe that they're allowing. See, this is how they're saying it's safe. I don't believe that the Hondas and the Toyotas and all these Mitsubishis they're bringing here.
You're going to buy a radioactive car?
The cars are going to have radiation.
That would be a good thing to do. Get the Geiger counter and go to some Honda dealerships and see what's going on.
Go put it by a Toyota that just came off the dock.
Yeah. I'm interested in taking a look at the 2012 trucks.
Put that on YouTube. That's a good idea. There, we were thinking about what could we test. That would be a great way to test it.
It would be.
What you go to? I can go to Torrington Toyota and see. What is the most recent vehicle that you got that just came back?
What's the
like a Land Cruiser or something that they had, or something.
Test them out.
They don't make them. They're all not. Some of them are made in Japan. Not all of them. Like the Sequoia is made in whatever.
No, that's still most of them are made in. Well, some major parts are made in Japan,
Yeah, but the actual cars are the ones that are made there, like the Highlander. I think we're making there.
Major Tyranny on March 18th. At a massive demonstration against Yemen's government, snipers fire on protesters from rooftops, and police block an escape route. At least 46 people died, including children.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Nice police. That's nice of the police.
Yeah, well. It's almost as bad as American police officers spraying 80-year-old women in the face with
mace.
pepper spray.
It's terrible. It's terrible.